SSC CGL. Thousands of students get selected every year. There are huge successes and there are even bigger celebrations for those successes. And it's a good thing. We should celebrate these success. But we fail to look at the bigger picture. We often fail to understand that for a few thousands which are selected, there are lakhs whose dreams are shattered every year. There are lots of students who fail these examinations, not once, not twice, but consistently. It takes a toll on their mental health, it takes a toll on their physical health, on their life, on their confidence. They are depressed, they are resenting everything, almost every aspect of their preparation journey, of their examination, of their life. Now, for a lot of us, I think we celebrate success and we say that we have a lot to learn from success. And in the context, we ignore the failures. Whereas, I think almost all of us might have heard that failures are the biggest teachers. Supposedly, there are 10 seats for the SSC examination, 10 vacancies, and there are 100 applicants. So obviously, out of these 100 people, only 10 are going to get success, right? And we'll celebrate those successes very, gracefully, understood. Okay, wonderful, good thing. But what about those 90 failures? Those 90 failures can be teachers, can be guiders, can be mentors for these 90 people who have failed. So out of these few, next year at least some of them will get success and this cycle will keep running. And not only in these exams, but in the general life, they will learn a lot from these failures. And these 90 failures will also be teachers. Teachers means they can give you values, they can give you learnings, they can give you lessons for the next lot which is going to sit for this exam. Oh, these people failed and this is why they failed. And in one such attempt, I am here before you today to discuss why exactly an aspirant may fail the SSC CGL exam, not once, not twice, maybe repeatedly. Maybe he or she is caught up in a mind trap and they are not able to come out of it. Mind it, I'm telling you beforehand, this session is going to be an in-depth psychological analysis and an understanding of why exactly a student might actually dragging himself down the drain of failure and how you can actually come out of it, right? So this is exactly what we are going to do by the end of this session. You will be able to understand what are the common reasons why students might fail and how you can overcome this. It will appear much of it like a pathological disease. So we are treating failure like a pathological disease and not in the real way, but it is just a comparative analysis. So we will diagnose the reasons and we'll try to treat them, right? So this is the blueprint of success which you're talking about. So the two major pillars of winning system in any examination, not only SSC but any examination, they are twofold. Generally, we focus only on one aspect of it, the content aspect of it. And I've been repeatedly telling you in all sessions, I reiterate almost everywhere that sometimes you are so engrossed here, preparing your content, repeating, revising, you fail to realize that this is the reason why you're failing, the emotional reason of it. You're not failing because of the content, okay? So of course, the preparation wise, during the preparation phase, you have to be very smart. You have to eliminate every little hurdle your way. You have to prepare every way. You have to be as perfect as possible. Of course, you can't be flawless, but you have to be as near to that as possible during your preparation phase. You will, fall back. You will have bad days sometimes, but you need to push yourself out of it consistently and you need to keep coming back. So that is there. But you need to have the psychological resilience also. There are days, see, energy is like a curve. So when you start your preparation, today you've seen a video, you've seen something, maybe you'll be extra motivated and you'll be full of energy. And that energy is constantly rising. You've started to make plans already about tomorrow, day after, 1 year later, and you're already making plans to change the world. And you are here at the peak of energy right now. Tomorrow you are sitting and solving a question on number series. You could not solve 1, could not solve 2, could not solve 3, and you're done. The energy is dipped. You're completely demotivated, you have lost that charm, you have lost that wonder, you have lost that zeal, and you have lost everything. You're like, I don't want to study. I don't feel like studying. Gradually, after 2 days, 3 days, you get depressed. You start feeling bad, the energy is constantly dipping. Then suddenly you watch a video, some selected candidate is coming with a uniform and telling that if I can do it, you can do it. Oh, suddenly motivation is peaking again. Basically, your energy, your motivation, your will to do this exam, to crack this exam is dependent on somebody else. Your dreams are dependent on somebody else. It's high time you take the reins in your hand. You have to be psychologically very resilient. You have to constantly learn to bounce back. You have to constantly be in that zone. Of course, you're going to fall out of it. Of course, you're going to have bad days. I'm telling you again and again, it's okay. It's natural. Accept it. But be aware of how to push yourself out of it. Nobody else is as aware about you as you. And if you're not aware, your first primary journey needs to be about self-awareness. You need to know what are those weaknesses, and not only conceptual but emotional as well, right? So what exactly are the causes? What are the diagnostic reasons of failure? So Tier 1 and Tier 2, there are separate reasons for them. So we will look at the stage specific reasons. We will look at the conceptual and emotional flaws. So there are some flaws, some reasons, some problems which are conceptual. Of course, errors while preparation, in your conceptual understanding, in your theoretical knowledge, in your practical application, and some are emotional problems. Okay, so we will learn them also. And the mock test ego, we will talk about this. So these are the reasons why you are failing. With these reasons, simultaneously I will discuss how you can make them better, and in the end we will talk about some more additional points of how to make this better, right? So the first thing, the speed accuracy trap in Tier 1. Okay, now what happens is, exactly when you are sitting for the Tier 1 exam, all of you have this notion that this is a competitive exam, and a lot of you in fact are exclusively preparing for SSC exams. Those who are preparing for other exams, or those who have an exposure of other exams, they usually fall for this trap less often. But usually those who are exclusively preparing for SSC and they are in their initial years, they will often fall for this trap where they start feeling that this is a competitive exam and it is of high value. So of course, you know, the questions are going to be difficult and I need to learn as much as possible. So once you are in that zone of learning, you forget to have a boundary. You keep learning, keep adding, keep getting vaster, which is fine. But you forget to stick to your examination. You are actually now, while preparing for SSC, you have reached your UPSC level. And it's a very big myth that a person who is preparing for UPSC can crack SSC. It's not so, because this game is not about knowledge. This game is about speed. Okay, if I give you an SSC examination, a previous year paper, I make you sit down and I give you the paper and I give you 3 hours or 4 hours to solve it, without practicing, without preparing, without even starting, you can solve 80 to 90% of the paper without any issue. And you'll be like, oh, this is so easy. Why are they crying? They're crying because for one question, you're approximately getting 36 seconds. Approximately. A mensuration question of pyramid, just imagine 36 seconds is what they are giving you for one question. So it's not about content anymore. You have to fight about it. You have to understand that your conventional methods are not helpful always. So you have to come out of the comfort zone. A lot of people, they are very easily, they settle down into the comfort zone and they want to stay there. They don't want to come out. So this is the emotional aspect of it. Now, okay, I think this method is okay. And this is not applicable on reasoning section, because reasoning section is new for a lot of people. So it's very enthusiastic. It's very, fun. So you are very engaged here. But when I talk of quant, majority of you have left quant at your 10th standard. After your 10th standard, you almost hated mathematics. You never took it again. You never considered it in your life. And now suddenly it is creeping back. Mixture, alligation, okay, all those arithmetic questions, mensuration, geometry. Everybody hates geometry, Euclid's geometry specifically. And that is what starts challenging you. So when a teacher teaches you some short tricks here and there, it's all fun and gaga, you're all happy. But gradually when something new is introduced to you in your exam, you suddenly fall back to the conventional methods, because that is where your comfort zone lies. You multiply a 3-digit number with a 2-digit number with all those crosses and zeros and all, and you form a big table, and that's how you solve questions. And you're like, no, I think I have been doing this for a very long time, so I'm more comfortable here and I will be faster here. You're wrong. You need to push yourself out of it constantly and consistently to come out of that mindset, of that rut, of that monotony you have stuck into. Okay, so make sure that you're doing this. So fundamental shift to mental maths, option elimination. They are giving you options for a reason. SSC is not about solving and finding the correct answer only. That is one aspect of it. But the other aspect is sometimes you just have to eliminate 3 options to get to the correct one. And that is much faster. You need to understand the unit digit rule, the sum of digits rule. Okay, so all these things, option elimination rule, the digit swap rule, the operator swap rule, the division rule, all these rules, It will help you come down to the point much faster. Okay, so eliminate, learn these techniques while you are studying. Make it a habit right now, not later on. The second stage, the second problem is the depth and endurance crisis, which happens often in tier 2. So in tier 1, speed is the problem. You can't gain the speed, you can't come out of the comfort zone. In tier 2, what happens is your complete focus is still on tier 1 specific subjects because you had started with that. So you're comfortable. So when there is a transitioning phase, initially you will focus on some new topics, or maybe you will feel like I already know that, so I'll just keep revising that and then I will study the new topics also. You end up focusing a lot on the previous questions or the previous logics only or the previous types only, which were more tier 1 heavy, and on tier 2 you're like, okay, more or less it will be same only, I'll just have to focus there. You forget that you need extra concentration in tier 2. There are more number of questions, it is separately designed, okay, so it needs more focus, and you're going to face mental fatigue very soon. You're reading RCs of English language and you're going crazy, I can't read so much, I'm getting tired, my brain is getting foggy. So what should I do? I only have a habit of 25 questions in quant and 25 in reasoning, but 50 questions, now I have to solve 60. So now I'm getting confused. Okay, what do I do? What these 5 extra questions of mensuration, they are very big questions. There are 5 extra questions, critical reasoning, I can't think. My brain is actually getting, I'm feeling dizzy right now. So you need to build that habit. And what I would suggest is start from day 1 for tier 2 only. Don't see, you have a year, so start for tier 2 only. You think that you're going to sit for tier 2. Prepare for that, tier 1 will be covered already. Yes, on speed focus while tier 1 is closing, you focus more on the speed at that time, okay. The next is sectional cutoff blindness. That means, now see, this video, I had prepared this topic before the CGL tier 2 was conducted. I am delivering it right now, but I had honestly prepared it before that. And I had no clue that this is going to happen fresh this year only. A lot of people they keep computers for the end. They don't even study a lot. They are like, okay, basic computers, I'll see what will happen. It's as it is, it's qualifying. I'll do anything and I'll just get marks. That's not how it works. You can't study computer even in the last 1 month. It's too lesser time. You need to focus on it from day 1. So don't treat it, because it's qualifying, don't, give it, that level importance. It is really very important. You need to give in those hours for computers. You need to build resilience here as well. And that is why I think this year, and every year in fact, computers has the power to create that ruckus. And a lot of students go almost unprepared, and then they lose their golden chance. They have cleared the tier 1, they are sitting for tier 2, they have mastered the other subjects, but they have lost it because of computers. And I think sadly this year this story will be common for a lot of students. Okay, so this is what it needs to be done. You have to implement parallel preparation from day 1. Treat everything as a core subject. Don't focus on only quant or reasoning or English or GKGS. Focus on computers as well. Focus on every aspect of it from day 1. Okay, now we'll talk about the other flaws, 2 conceptual flaws and 2 emotional flaws. Conceptual flaws means while studying, what errors do you make? So resource overload, I'll talk about this in detail. Lack of retrieval, again we'll talk about this in detail. Emotional flaw means the next year syndrome. It's constantly procrastinating things over for the next time, tomorrow, day after, Monday, next year, next month, whatever. Why do we do that? We'll talk about that also briefly. And social comparison. So we'll talk about these things one by one now. The first one is resource overload. A lot of students, when they are preparing, so okay, this sir also is good for reasoning, this sir is also good for reasoning, that sir is also good for reasoning, oh, this company I should take the notes from, this company I should give the mocks of. So they end up preparing, they end up gathering 10 PDFs, 5 notes, all these videos for this one topic, and they don't go through any one of them. Not even a single one from it they go through. Okay, so you are just, you have a resource overload so much so that you now feel that I don't want to study only, I don't want to go through it, I can't do it anymore. And your heavy dependency on digital notes is also a problem. You just click a picture of everything and you never revisit it. That is an issue. Write it down. Yes, okay, digital lectures are there. We are teaching you. You need to create the content. You need to create the notes. That is going to help you to, have that better. And that one set should be your notes. Majority of these teachers, even me, including me, we are going to tell you, I am not asking you to come and study with me. I am asking you to study with one person. So, when you are doing your foundation, select one person, stick to it, because majorly all of them are teaching somewhat similar. They are all teaching the same syllabus, right? And once you have your, your understanding is developed, then you build on it according to your exam. Okay, so that is what exactly happens. Now, lack of retrieval means a lot of you, I have seen how they go through GK GSs. They pick up a Lucent and they will just go through the pages like, okay, I have to read this Das Janpat period, or I have to read this the Mahajanpat period, the Das Rajan war. I have to just go through it. Just read. It will stay here. No, it will not stay here. Your mind is, it has a biological capacity where a tendency where after a while, when it feels that there was a lot of data stored here, which is not being used consistently, so it will drop it. It will drop trivial data. It's not going to store it for any reason, because it needs that space for your regular upkeep, for your regular information storage, etc. Right? So you need to trick your mind into believing that this data is important to me. And how will you do that? By recalling, by remembering. A family member's phone number, maybe you remember because you recall it a lot of times, but a random number's phone number you might not remember. Okay, so do you understand? Your brain needs to be tricked into the fact, knowing the fact that this data is important for me, please store it and please remember it. This is your job now. That is how it is going to remember. So retrieval needs to be there, recall needs to be there, revision needs to be there. Consistently asking yourself what exactly is happening. Okay, why have I studied? What have I studied? So if you keep that in mind, I have something for you over it. We'll talk about it also. Now, the next one is emotional flaws in the operator. Okay, what are the emotional flaws? So, pathology of the next year syndrome. What is that? Procrastinating. Okay, not today, tomorrow. Not tomorrow, day after. This is a difficult topic, not now. Calendars, I'll do it till the end. This topic I'll do later on, not right now. I don't want to do it. Why are you doing that? Because you're looking at the bigger picture and it seems to be very large actually. Almost undoable. So now you are right now only giving up. Arey, who is going to solve so much? Break it down into smaller elements, achieve them one by one, and reward yourself for those little achievements. That's the best strategy to avoid procrastination. Sometimes you don't even know procrastination is associated with your upbringing. Yes, that's true. A lot of it is hidden there. How well were you rewarded when you were performing tasks? How well do you actually enjoy the journey rather than the the destination? Are you a consequentialist? Are you a utilitarian? So all these things matter, right? So think from that perspective. Don't consistently procrastinate, because see, look at this beautiful wording written here. A compounding knowledge debt is created in your head. You didn't study one page today, then 2 pages tomorrow, then 3 pages, then 4 pages. It's consistently compiling and there is a deficit in your head, a knowledge deficit, overcoming which is going to always become a problem. No matter what competitive exam I have gone through for my students, they are always complaining about GK backlog. Why is backlog being created? Because you are not consistently going through it from day one. Okay, so avoid that. Social comparison, another big problem. We compare ourselves a lot with people around us, which leads to inferiority complex. And if you keep doing that, you are going to suffer from the imposter syndrome. That is, you will start feeling that, am I good enough? I think I'm not. I'm not worth all this. I think I'm a failure. I think I'm an imposter. That means I'm a liar. I'm not even a good student. I should not be preparing for SSC CGL. I think I'm not worth it. I'm just wasting my and my parents' times. Why are they investing so much in me? I think I'm wasting their money. I am not even worth it. I think I'm a fool. I did not deserve my degree. I did not deserve anything. It's a common problem which a lot of students go through, often because they compare a lot with what is going on around them. How is that guy scoring 370? How is that guy scoring 360? They have also put in that amount of work. They have also seen those failures. But all you are right now seeing is their success. Nobody shows their failures. So stop looking at their successes and feeling that this is what I am going to be motivated with. Be motivated by someone's failures. What did they do despite it? It's not the end of life, right? So try to pick up from there. The mock test ego. Now this is contrary to what a lot of you might be feeling after looking at it. The problem is again the comfort zone. A lot of you, they are very scared of mock tests. So they feel that if I give a mock test, I'll get a score and then I'll feel very bad. So what I should do is I should avoid mock test. Let me not, so I have a plate full of vegetables. I hate this vegetable. I will just put a, bowl over it and I will not look at it. So then it will go and I will eat whatever rest is there. It means that's not how it works. You need to eat the frog first. Okay. So mock tests are actually important. A lot of you you almost start ignoring mock tests. I'm not saying everybody does this. But a lot of you ignore mock tests and you're like, if rather than giving one mock test, I can cover 3 topics. Why don't I do that? In reality, rather than studying 3 topics, if you give a mock test, that is always better. Okay. So mock tests are important. And the biggest thing is, please don't use them as a report card. Use them as a diagnostic tool. How? A lot of you associate your self-ego, your self-respect with the scores you are getting in your mock test. Okay. And if you can't get the scores what the toppers are getting, then you start demeaning them. Oh, they are faking and they are reattempting and getting those scores. Whatever. That's none of your business. Your focus should be on what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, and how do I make it better consistently. What is a mock test? Mock test is basically, if you are, I've told you that you have to run a final race. Okay. And I've given you 100 chances to run a race before that and make exactly, feel what you're going to feel like on the last day. So what are you doing here is you are eliminating flaws. Supposedly you were going to commit 1,000 flaws on that last race day. But now in these 100 races, 100 mock races which you have done, you have eliminated 900 of them. So you are going to do some odd 100 flaws which are okay, which are human, but you have a high chance of selection as compared to the person who did not attempt for any mock race and directly ran thinking that, oh, I am going to make it. Yeah, flukes might always be there. Luck always favors, but not everybody. 1 or 2. Are you getting the point? So be careful about this. Use it as a diagnostic tool, specifically when you are closer to the exam. The last mock which you give before the exam should never be taken on face value. Never look at the score. Go to the depth, learn what exactly has happened. That's it. Okay, apart from whatever we have done so far, I know the session is extending a bit, but this is going to be interesting. Apart from whatever we have done so far, we need to understand there are other aspects how we can improve our journey. So these are the treatments, recommended treatments, prescribed treatments, the 1-3 application protocol, the 2-phase mock strategy, and the cognitive reframing protocol. Let's understand all these things. So we'll go through the 1-3 application protocol. That means 1 hour learning, 3 hours application. Application means you have to learn it once for 1 hour. Then you need to recall it. You need to do some practice, some questions from it. Now you'll feel like every time after a lesson is done, where do I go? I don't have a book. I don't have a practice question set. My teacher did some 10-20 questions with me in the paid class, but what else? Where do I go? So for that, Oliveboard has launched for you the 360-degree study kit. Let me take this opportunity. Okay, I'll quickly go through it. So what you can do here is you can utilize, once you are done with the video, a 1 hour session on the platform, this is an automatic tab which has now been associated with each video. It's an AI generated data. So the moment you're done with this 360-degree study kit helps you to revise. Okay. So what you can do is you can go to the summary, complete summary of the syllabus of the video. And these are the points I'm trying to mention. Have a question, that means FAQs from this topic. So they will automatically form it through AI and you can just go through all the questions which are commonly asked. You can go through quizzes which are generated, auto quizzes, which are different from what your faculty has taught in this class. Okay. You can go through detailed notes, flashcards, everything at one place, AI generated with high accuracy. So once you are done with the video, you are almost instantly revising from it and also instantly practicing questions from it. Extra questions which are conceptual, which are helping you to retrieve, to recall that data and let your brain understand that this is important, I need to remember this. So this is how revision becomes smart. This is how revision becomes intelligent. So use it for your benefit, right? Now, coming back to this point, this is a wonderful point which I think I add almost in every of my sessions, the mistake notebook, and additionally the logic register, specifically for the reasoning section. Mistake notebooks means whenever you are sitting for a mock, after you're done with the mock and after you've done the analysis, you note down the errors. See, again, it's human tendency. If you have solved a question in one go, 90% of the times you're never going to get stuck in it ever again. Anytime later, 5 years later also, if you solve the question, you might be able to solve it in one go. But if you got stuck in one question, there is a good chance that even if you go through the solution and understand it, you will get stuck at it again tomorrow or maybe 10 days later. There is a good chance. So always constantly remind your brain, where did you go wrong and why did you go wrong there? And have you improved on it or not? So that is done beautifully by a mistake register. That means wherever you're making an error, you're just noting that complete question and the correct solution down, and you're just revising through it constantly, repeatedly, just reading that, going through it. See, again and again, you don't have to go through the whole course material. When you're revising, these are the key points you need to go through. Okay. And the logic register, all new types of logics which you come through, especially in the reasoning section, you can mention them there, those extra questions. So that also will help you to revise and remember them. so that your horizon vastens basically. Okay. The next one is the two-phase mock strategy. So initially you only need to give mocks, practice sectional mocks, don't time them at all, just solve them as questions but in the mock phase. And once you're thoroughly done, then you sit for the exact simulation of mocks, word by word, time by time, second by second, frame by frame. Completely you should feel like you're actually sitting for a mock. That is how serious you should be. Have the transition. Okay, it should not be instant. So I have done my 80% syllabus and now I will sit for the first simulated mock. No, you can't do that. You are going to be devastated with the scores if you look at them. Okay, I know I'm telling you not to look at the scores, but no matter how much we tell you, are not going to understand. So please practice this phase first thoroughly and then transition to this phase. Okay, everything taken slowly is going to be better. It's going to be the best. Right? And cognitive reframing, a lot of it is on manifestation. What is your inner voice constantly telling you? Are you your own best friend? You are looking for support elsewhere. Oh, my parents don't support me. Oh, my friends don't support me. Oh, my group is not good. Oh, my study people are not right. You are not right for yourself. And that is the biggest flaw you are currently facing. And not only you, vast majority of our youth is going through this. You are the biggest critic of yourself, which is good up to an extent. But that critic cannot turn into a self-sabotaging tool, cannot turn into self-harm, self-loathing. Okay, that is where you're going wrong. Constantly making yourself feel good for nothing. You don't deserve this, you're not good for this, you're not good enough, you don't study enough, what have you done? So one day you have enjoyed your life and then in the evening you start blaming and cursing yourself. You start feeling guilty. And nobody's going to come out to bring you out of this because everybody is suffering from their own ordeal. So you need to understand, manifest that positivity, have that inner voice, channel that inner voice, make it positive for yourself, love yourself, and that is really going to bring a huge difference in your preparation. Constantly tell yourself, yes, I'm going to do it. And it does make a difference. Trust me, it does. See, for example, I'll tell you a simple example here. I am bad at quant. You have generalized your problem and you have labeled it as a permanent failure. I am bad at quant. So no matter how much I'm going to do, I'm not going to get better at it. Take the power away from this statement within yourself. You're telling the same thing right now, reframing it. So this is cognitive reframing. What are you saying? I have not yet mastered the properties of prime numbers. Now, from permanent and from very vague and very definitive, or very rather I would say very generic, you're now making it specific and you're making it temporary. You're taking away the life from it. You're saying I am currently weak, I have not yet mastered the properties of prime numbers. So I'm yet to do that. So now you're giving an impression to your head that if practiced, you will be able to get there. Constantly reiterate these feelings in your head. Constantly try to come back towards positivity. Keep reminding yourself where you are lacking emotionally as well, because that actually can bring a huge change in how you look up not only your examination but at your day-to-day life. Okay, so this will make you a better human overall, not only a better student. Try to think like this. It's actually going to bring a huge change in your life. Trust me. So these are the things which you have gone through. Okay, these are just a quick revision. You can go through this short understanding of what happened in the session today. So this is what I want to terminate with. Your SSC CGL preparation is not a lottery. It is a system you design and operate. It is not just, I sat, I studied, I could not get through. Everybody says this. 90 people out of 100 are saying this. These people are not doing something right. You need to learn to do that something right. Find your right. Start doing it from today and manifest your SSC CGL 2026. Thank you so much for watching till here, guys. If you are new on this channel, you will hit the subscribe button right away. You will share this video across platforms with other students, with other aspirants, because you are that positive being who is going to spread this positivity around. And you will hit the like button surely, because I know you loved the subject. Thank you so much for joining live, guys. I'll see you around in the next session. Till then, you guys take care. Bye-bye. Namaskar. Jai Hind.